Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. Well, today in this video we'll be looking at this Hoover Breeze. First of all, I want to apologise for wearing shorts. I never wear shorts, I hate them. But it's absolutely boiling in the UK at the moment, and it's only April, so who knows, we've got summer early. But yeah, it's too hot to wear anything else, so if you don't like shorts, you're just going to have to put up with it because it's too damn hot. So anyway, that's besides the point. So here it is. This is an Australian model. It's a Hoover Breeze, but essentially it's a Turbo Power Junior total system. Total system because it has the tools attached, and Turbo Power Junior because it's a soft bag Turbo Power. But yeah, it's in this very nice sort of lilac and light grey colour scheme. And I also have the manual, which I'll just quickly show you. So that's really cool. So it's just the basic getting started and how to operate the machine. I don't have shoes like that, so hopefully the machine will still perform just as well for me. And it also shows you how to service the brush roll, how to check for blockages. So it looks like you get a 2-year guarantee with this, which is well out of date now, but anyway, here it's model U1432. Okay then, so before I ramble on anymore, let's change the camera angle and we'll have a bit of a closer look. Okay, so starting from the bottom up, here we have the hood. Now what's unusual about this Hoover Breeze is that it actually uses the same style of hood that they would have used on a version that had a headlight. Now this Hoover Breeze doesn't have a headlight, but they've used the same hood that they would have on the headlight versions, and instead of putting a lens here, they've just blanked it off with a plastic piece. And I just thought that was really odd, because the UK versions never had that. There were specific hoods made for the non-headlight versions, and basically this slant here would have slanted all the way down so it was flush with the rest of the hood. They wouldn't have just blanked off this cutout with a plastic piece. So maybe that's just the way they did it in Australia, I don't know, but we never had that. But on this blanking piece here we've got some nice bold Hoover lettering. Further down from there we have the height selector. So right on the end there we've got the shortest pile setting for like carpet tiles or really low pile carpet. The next one up is for your sort of short to medium pile. Then we have medium pile and finally long pile. And the last setting on the end here is for tools. So when you slide that into the tool setting, that does two things. It raises the wheels on the undercarriage a little bit higher, so it's raised a little bit higher than the highest setting on the carpet selector. But it also slides a plastic shutter into the air path that goes to the nozzle, which basically stops the suction from the fan going to the brush roll housing and sends it back up through the hose, so you get suction through the hose. Now of course this is a dirty fan cleaner, so everything you pick up either through the hose or from the main cleaner head will pass the fan and into the bag. So if you pick up anything like, you know, pennies or nails, things like that, then it could risk damaging the fan or the housing. Now talking of the hose, it does disconnect from the hood there, so you can check if there's any blockages. They do tend to get blocked because as you can see it's quite narrow, and also if there's any blockages in the cavity there you can check that. Obviously you'd make sure it was unplugged in case it, for whatever reason, miraculously turned on, because of course the fan is very close to this cavity here, but that slots back in there nicely. Now to remove the selector there from the tool setting, you have to push the height selector knob back towards the rear of the cleaner, and then you can slide it back into the carpet height selection. At the front here we've got some nice lettering that says Breeze and it says Advanced Cleaning System. I always find it funny the way that they market things. I find it quite cool. We've got a bumper that runs all the way around here, and you can just see two cooling vents on top of the hood there. And if I recline handle back, you may just be able to see the bellows just going out of shot there. And if these should block up, you can release them from the base of the outer bag compartment here, You just take off the fill tube and squeeze them together and it releases them, and you can basically poke around with a screwdriver or whatever, obviously while it's not switched on, to release any blockages. But to be fair, I've never had a blockage here, so you know, I don't know how you'd manage to block one of these because they're really powerful. You'd probably have to be picking up masses and masses of material, or maybe bits of paper or something. But anyway, there we are, that's the base of the cleaner, so let's move on a bit further up. Now this is what makes the Hoover Breeze a little bit different than a regular Turbo Power Junior, in that it has this onboard tool caddy which stores both the hose and the tools. Now it basically just hooks around the handle here, and there's a screw that holds it on at the top there, and 3 screws underneath. So we have the 3 small tools clipped on the front here. We have the crevice tool. No Hoover branding on it like there would be on a UK version. Next we have the upholstery tool. Quite a nice design this, it's got 2 sets of lint pickers. There's also some suction vents on the side there. I don't really think you'd need those with one of these machines, but anyway, that's a nice upholstery tool. And at the bottom here we have quite a nice large rectangular shaped dusting brush, a lot bigger than what you'd have on, say, a Turbo Power 2. But that's a nice dusting brush, nice soft bristles. And that clips on at the bottom there. There's a nice Hoover roundel on there as well, as you can see. Unusual that it's purple, but it kind of matches the lilac colour scheme of the caddy. So let's just turn this to the side. You can see the hose just wraps around just like a regular total system that like what we got with the hard box models. And you can remove that from the and get it out. There we go. Sometimes they don't want to come out when you want them to, and they just tend to pop out when you don't. Isn't that the way of the world? Anyway, so here we have the hand grip. Nice triple stretch hose. Very stretchy actually. Squeaking a bit down there at the caddy. But of course this won't reach up a flight of stairs, but it's fine for your upholstery and things. Now the extension wand actually stores behind the hose, which is really genius, I think. There is some Hoover branding on this actually. Don't know how well you can see that. Anyway, that's really cool. That clips in there, and then of course the hose just clips back in at the bottom there and stores neatly. So while we're at this level, let's have a look round to the back at the inner bag. So there's a quick release cord hook at the top, which releases all the cord in one go. And the lower cord hook there is just like a regular Turbo Power, and it folds in and out. They very often tended to snap off. So in the outer bag here, we can see inside we have one of the synthetic Turbo Power bags that they sell, I think by Qualtex. These aren't made by Hoover, definitely. But they're very large, as you can see. Very large indeed. And they just pull off. Just carefully do that without spilling any dust anywhere, hopefully. There's some dirt on there. But there we have inside the bag compartment there. There is, if I just recline this back slightly, there's a spring here which you can unhook if you need to remove the bag, like that, to get to the fill tube to remove it. It can be difficult with the bag still attached. But there we are. There's the outer bag. Let's pop the disposable bag back in place. They're great, these synthetic bags, because they just tuck away very nicely. Paper bags don't tend to be as forgiving. They can make the outer bag look all poked out if you're not careful with the paper one, because it's quite rigid. Anyway, nice zip on there, that all works fine. The bag's a nice sort of grey colour with these white diagonal stripes on it. So that's really cool. Nothing much going on this side. But there we are. That's the bit creaky and groany as turbo powers tended to be. But that's the midsection of the machine. Okay, so here's a view of the top of the handle from the back. As you can see, we've got a single speed on-off switch, very simple. And here's the top card hook that I was talking about, which rotates 360 degrees, so you can release the card all in one go. And the card exits the top of the handle there through the centre of the top card hook, so that's nice and convenient. So here's the business end of the Hoover Breeze, pretty much a standard turbo power. We have the rear wheels here and the central undercarriage wheels, and here we have the activator brush roll, and you can see there's beater pads on here which beat the carpet to release the grit, and these constant contact spiral brushes are always sweeping the carpet, which pick up lint and hairs, things like that. And there's also these very long edge brushes. You can see how long they are. They get very close to the edge. Very good brush roll this. Mind you, I do prefer the original agitator brush roll with the fixed steel beater bars and the slide out brushes. But this is still a good brush roll. So there we are, there's the underside. Okay, so finally let's take a quick look at the rating sticker. So it says Hoover model U1432, serial number 064910, 240 volts, 50 Hz, 470 watts. It says it's made by Hoover Australia Pty Limited Incorporation in New South Wales, registered trademark. So there we go. Because the Hoover Breeze is Australian and Australia uses 240 volts, just like we do in the UK, I don't actually need a transformer to use it, and in fact all I need is one of these travel adapters, which basically changes the shape of the plug, in this case from Australian to UK. So I just plug in the adapter into the socket, then I can take my plug, here's the Australian plug. There's no earth pin because it's double insulated and it doesn't need it. But there's a good look at the prongs on it, quite different than ours. It's moulded on as well, so that's cool. So I just take the plug and plug it into the adapter, and then I can switch the socket on. Alright, so the Breeze is plugged in and ready to go. I've just put down some rice and some oats. I haven't put too much down, just to give you a general idea of how this machine performs. So here we go. As you could see, that did a really good job. and Hoovers were always famous for having some agitation, and you probably spotted some in that demo. So now let's move on to the tools and we'll give a little demo of those. Don't know about you, I'm absolutely roasting. Well anyway, there we go. So there was the overview and demonstration on this lovely 1995 Hoover Breeze. Not an in-depth demo, but you know, it's a nice little view of it in action. I don't like to put them through too much torture, these old machines. Especially since I've just cleaned this up, so you know I didn't want to put too much dirt through it. But yeah, it's a very good machine. It's a bit noisy, but turbo power's always tended to be noisy. But yeah, I did have one of these actually, if you remember, any of my long time subscribers. I did have one of these a few years ago and I sold it, which I absolutely regretted. So I'm so pleased that I've managed to find another one. So anyway, there we go, that was today's video, my 1995 Hoover Breeze U1432. So thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done already, and click the little bell icon, that way you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. So once again, thanks for watching, comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care.